Hey y'all, it's me, Dr. Lynn Daniel, PhD, EDS. I'm the self-care evangelist here on social media. I encourage people to prioritize their personal and professional self-care and wellness. And I do that through the Word of God, so I encourage y'all to do the same. All right, so I'm on the last few well, no, not really. I'm still on my road trip, you all. And I wanted to come and talk to you all about addictions. I'm not an addiction specialist. That is not my professional training. I do want to remind you that we are in the 90 days of prayer and consecration for our loved ones who are in the throes of addiction. Now, I just felt impressed to pivot from secret societies to addiction because there must be a reason. I just felt impressed. Like, in my knowing, I knew that was the right thing to do. Now, listen, I'm not accusing anyone. I just know that in the United States, you have a high population of individuals who are bound by substances, and this impacts families across communities, cities, states, regions. So it's a for real situation and problem, and sometimes addictions make you do things you wouldn't do if you were in your right mind. Now, I looked up the definition for addictions. It's a treatable chronic medical disease involving complex interactions among brain, circuits, genetics, the environment. This is from the American Society of Addictions. So yeah, it's multi-layered, it's complex. I will say that I'm addicted to sugar. I know that I am addicted to sugar. I know it. I can remember when I was in the 6th grade, the first time a classmate introduced me to a honey bun. That is when I became addicted to sugar. I was 11 years old possibly in 6th grade. I took a bite of that thing and it was, and every day I wanted a honey bun at lunchtime, because back in those times at lunch we could leave the school campus, walk to the corner store, buy snacks, and that's what this classmate did. She introduced me to my sugar addiction, which then followed me like in various levels of urgency or activity, like through my life. Like, when I was young, I had a childhood illness, so I really couldn't eat. I had to pay attention to what I ate, because I would have these allergic reactions to certain things, which would trigger my childhood illness. And I can remember one time I was like, my body was in the early stages of having this illness, right? And my mother said, don't eat those now and laters. I guess my siblings were eating them and I wanted some too. And my mom said, don't eat those now and laters. And now and laters are square little hard candies, semi-soft. Back then they would be hard. You could get the real hard ones. And then I think some of the flavors were softer, but I remember this was a grape one. It was purple. And I ate, my sibling and I went to the car, because I think we were at the laundromat or something with my mom. And we went to the car and got in the car in the back seat. And my sibling gave me the now and later, and I ate it. And enough, that now and later triggered a full-blown attack, situation. And we get out the car, and I'm, in the throes of this childhood illness, and we walk to the laundromat, and my mom looks at me and said, "Didn't I tell you not to eat that now and later?" Right? And so that's what addictions do. I just had to have that sugar, which started as it was introduced to me around that same age. I think this was around that same 6th grade age. Introduced to me through eating a honey bun, which a honey bun is it's a cake. It's a donut type of a cinnamon roll, type of a Danish cinnamon roll thingy, dipped in sugary coating. Some of them have a glazed sugary coating, and some honey buns have a white glossy sugary coating. Some of them just have a clear glossy sugary coating. And I can't remember which one I like the best, but I don't eat them anymore. But I'm telling you all this story to tell you that addictions they do something to us chemically and biochemically in our brain, whatever the substance is. And mine was sugar. And so you have to understand that in order to get free. You have to understand the meaning, like what does addiction mean, and remove the stigma from the word in order to be deliverance, to recognize that deliverance is needed and necessary and urgent and importance to freedom and liberty, healing, understanding the meaning, removing the stigma, and being honest. So if you go back through my Instagram, some of my YouTube videos, pictures I posted, you will see the impact that my sugar addiction had on my life. If you don't get these things under control, they change your biochemistry. They put you off of center. They push you off of center where you're stable, and they destabilize you. And you'll see in my pictures where my weight was destabilized. My weight would balloon, and I had all these different things going on in my body. The sugar was triggering other medical systems to go haywire, which then caused other things to go haywire, which then looked like weight gain, which then looked like me blowing up like the Michelin Man. So during these nights, I do want to say thank God for Jesus, and thank God for medical care, right? And thank God for solutions. And just like this definition said, that addiction is a treatable chronic medical disease involving complex interactions among brain circuits, genetics, the environment, and an individual's life experience. People with addictions use substances or engage in behaviors that become compulsive and often continue despite harmful consequences. I thank God for intervention, for a good, strong medical team, for my own admission of guilt and shame, and my awareness of my reliance on certain things to help mitigate or navigate stressors and frustration. During these 90 days, this is what we are praying for. Deliverance. No stigma, no accusations. We are praying for deliverance. 90 days. So look on my community page so you can see the date, the 90 days time period, when it starts, when it ends, and join us. We are studying the book of Ezekiel, the entire book of Ezekiel during this time. And yeah. All right.